Honorable Secretary, Post Government of India, my colleague Sri Vinit Pandey, Chief Postmaster General, Sri Neeraj Kumar, Postmaster General, North Bengal Region and Sikkim, Sri Akhilesh Pandey, Srimati Shashi Shalini Kujur, Postmaster General, ladies and gentlemen, and my very dear friends. I have a pleasant secret to share with you. As Governor of West Bengal, I have had the opportunity to address many gatherings like this, but this gathering is very, very special to me. I see my mother here. You know, my mother was a postmistress. And as Shakespeare said, there my hands are tail. You know, in those days, in Kerala, I come from Kerala, educating the women was considered to be unnecessary. Maximum you should be studying up to 7th standard, and my grandmother broke the tradition and she studied up to 9th standard. She was very keen that my mother should undergo English education. Because we had in our village a Christian priest, Chavra Kuriakos, who is now become a saint. He is the person who set up the CMI, Carmel Mary Immaculate. They are running institutions like the famous Christ University in Bangalore and so many educational institutions and hospitals in the whole country. They are all over the world. He was very keen that girls should be given English education. That is a very serious topic of debate in those days. You know why they did not want girls to learn English? The reason is this: if the girls learn English, they will start reading novels. That is the end of the world. That is why girls are not allowed or encouraged to learn English. But my great-grandmother, she said that my mother should learn English. Then another problem. The local schools were all Malayalam medium schools. English medium school was only 7 kilometers away from our place. And we had a Benz car at that time, which at that time was called Bulla cart. In this Bulla cart, the old faithful in our family, open, she will take her to the school and take her back. And she passed the examination with distinction, I am told. Then the question came about a job. In those days, even sending girls for jobs was also considered to be very unnecessary. But then, my grandmother said my mother has to go for a job. Naturally, the local church promised her a job as a teacher in the school. But then, my grandmother knew a central government job is a much better position. The one central government job available in the village was a postmistress. So at the age of 18, my mother became a postmistress. The story does not end there. My village is called Mandanam. My mother is called Mandanam postmistress. Because as the secretary would know, when he joined the department at the age of 18, through assured career progression, you will get a few promotions. My mother and grandmother used to go to all the temples and offerings were given so that my mother does not get promoted. Because if she is promoted, she will be shifted from the village. So she avoided promotion, and after I got into IAS, the Chief Postmaster General told me, Dr. Bose, nowadays, it's not enough that you avoid promotion. Even that is not very easy now. I think you have to give something in writing. But she was insistent, she wants only as Mandanam postmistress. Next promotion, I think, is a head post to Mrs. I don't know what it is out there. So I am here, able to address you because of my mother who was a postmistress. And the postmistress in those days was not just a central government employee. See, people apply for jobs, especially for the public service commission jobs. Everybody in the village thought that if they approach my mother, then only they will get the public service and commission job, because the letters are sent by her, through her. And so she also had another role. She was supposed to coach the village people in competitive examination. That also she took it up. And I remember we had 3 school teachers and 1 priest. They also joined us. So in that village at that time, my mother's post office was a one-stop shop for everything. You have a job, your matrimonial alliance, whatever it is. So that blessings which are given to me by hundreds of people who are beneficiaries at that time, I think that is what would humble me as a governor of the state. I thank you so much for the help and guidance given by the post office. The post office is part of my blood. As the poet said, felt in the blood and felt along the heart. That is the feeling which I have about the Indian Post. Now a humble request to the Secretary and also the Chief Postmaster General. You know, Mr. Warren Hastings started this, as you all said. But before that, the post office was functioning from the compound of the Raj Bhavan. So we have a claim over you. So I am going to decide something as a dutiful son of a loving mother. I am going to have a special museum, postal museum within the Raj Bhavan to commemorate the humble connection of my mother with the great event. I would also suggest one thing. I would like to institute 10 awards, Padma Awards. My mother's name was Padmavati, that's why Padma, not Padma Sri. The first best post office in this region will be given an award of excellence of 1 lakh rupees, certificate and a plaque. You can decide which is that. Then 10 awards, Governor's Excellence Awards in the Padma Award series. Each award having 10 lakh rupees, a citation and a plaque to honor the postal workers, the ED packers, the postmen, the postmaster, all those who have made the post office what it is today. This is what all humble offering which I can make at this time. Going back to my younger days, the postman was considered to be always a friend, philosopher and guide to the whole people. He was not just a person who delivers something. Everyone who gets married in that village, because the invitation letters is given by the postman. So they adore him for that. Anyone who gets a job, they are indebted to the postman because the appointment order is given by the postman. I am also indebted to the postman because he is the one who gave me the appointment order in the IAS. Not a small thing. A sentimental affection takes place between the postman and the village. There are lighter side to it. We had an old postman. His name is Chandi. Chandi is very important in the Christian church. He is highly respected there. But he also wanted a job. He is very well to do. He doesn't really need a job, but to have a central government job adds one more feather to your cap, therefore he wanted it. But then he cannot wear the uniform, khaki trousers, a big bag. That, in Kerala where people wear only dhoti and shawl, to be seen in the public among your own friends and relatives, in that uniform of a postman looked like a baboon's dress, so he will not wear it. Once a postal inspector came. The postal inspector is a terror. When the postal inspector comes, my mother used to start the preparation 3 days back, how to receive the postal inspector, what are his likes and dislikes, what's the type of food that he will, everything is discussed. So in my younger days, I thought the most important man in the world is the postal inspector. That is how he was presented to me by my mother. Now, when the postal inspector came, Chandi the postman came in dhoti and shirt. The inspector is a stickler for procedure, very strict person. He asked Mr. Chandy, where is your uniform? Chandy knew the reputation of the inspector. He is very, very tough. He may even suggest his suspension for this. Chandy said, sir, I am wearing uniform. What do you mean? Sir, I am wearing uniform. Where is the khaki uniform? Sir, this is khaki uniform. Where is the bag? Sir, there is a bag. He knew he is being fooled. All people also gathered there, villagers gathered there. Then Chandy asked him, the postman asked him, sir, please ask the local people, am I not wearing the uniform? They said, yes, he is wearing the uniform. Though fooled, the inspector had no way but to accept it. That is a connection which the postman has with the people. Now, I remember in my house a distant cousin, Phalgun Entule, he was the chief postmaster of the Kuwait Oil, KOC, Kuwait Oil Company. So in those days, so many people from Kerala used to go to Kuwait. Kuwait at that time was called Persia. And there, to get a job in KOC, Kuwait Oil Company means it's a very, very big thing, very well paid, everything is there. And he was the chief postmaster of the Kuwait Oil Company. Now when he comes home, he comes by air. All others who go to the Persian, they come by ship. It may take 1 week, it may take 2 weeks. He had the opportunity to come by air because he was in the Kuwait Oil Company. He came for the wedding of the daughter of one of his school friends. And he also came in a Studebaker car. Coming by air, traveling in a Studebaker car is something which people could never think of. So he was treated like a king. The servant of the gentleman whose daughter was getting married, he got very excited. He said, Phalgunanji is coming by air. Again, Phalgunanji is coming by air. He heard again, Phalgunanji is coming by air. Okay, then give him 2 chairs to sit. So that was the type of elan which the postmaster had in my village. And now, I had a younger brother, Sukumar Bose. He was a very good lawyer, but he was known for the sense of humor which he had. All these Supreme Court and High Court judges told me, if Sukumar Bose opens his mouth, there will be some humor in that. He won many of his cases because of the humor, not by studying law. He had many tales to tell about the postmaster. One day he said, the red letter office, DLO. One letter read like this, Dear God, it was addressed to God. God to God Almighty, heaven be was the address. It came there, DLO. What the writer is writing, Dear God, it is Onam season here. Onam is like Durga Puja here, Onam is celebrated there. It is Onam season. My children will come, grandchildren will come. I have no money with me even to buy rice, leave alone to make the feast. Please give me 100 rupees. The DLO postmaster thought, poor guy. They collected 10 rupees each. 8 members were in the DLO, so 80 rupees were given to send to them. Next time, during Onam, Dear God, Onam has again come. I have no money. Last time I requested you for 100 rupees. You gave 100 rupees, but the stupid greedy fellows in the post office took 20 rupees back and gave only 80. So this is the plight which the post office at times has. There was something called telegram in those days. Now telegram means one of the most sophisticated weapons, the handles in the internet, isn't it? Cyber world. Those days, telegram, it's very difficult to read and understand the telegram unless you know what it means. I had a problem. I went to Mussoorie immediately after wedding. I did not take my wife because I was asked to give a lecture there. In Mussoorie, it was beautiful, enchanting season at that time. To please my wife, I sent a telegram because there is no internet or mobile at that time. My telegram was like this. Very enchanting, very exciting, unforgettable moments. I wish you were here.
Hello.
You know what the telegram said? Very exciting, very enchanting, unforgettable moment. I wish you were her. But he was missing. Even now I have not got out of the damage from that. And another thing, the post office does not leave me alone. I was sub-collector of a subdivision called Pala. The great wildlife sanctuary, Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary, Thekadi, was in my subdivision. I got a telegram from the government of India. That is about the chief wildlife officer visiting Thekadi. Only telegram is there. There is no mobile, no email is there. About the wildlife officer's visit, the telegram which I received is, a wild officer will be visiting Thekadi, please make arrangements. So, post and telegraph is intimately ingrained in my blood. I cannot forget it. Certainly, I know that there is a tide in the affairs of men, as Shakespeare said, which takes you on to fortune. Whatever I have now is thanks to the post office. In fact, I remember, we were 8 children, and my father was a freedom fighter. So he sold all his property for his politics, that is freedom fight. And then he was of course respectful to Gandhiji, but his hero was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So in my land in Kerala, normally your caste name is given with your name. So I should have been Ananda Nayar. But my father did no caste name because Gandhiji said no caste. So he wanted to change the name, drop the caste name. So he named all of us Bose. Anand Bose, Sundar Bose, Sukumar Bose, Kamala Bose, Indira Bose, all Boses. And for the mother, leaving away from the tradition was difficult. But she also agreed to that. That is how I got my job, I got my position, I got my name because of the post office. Short story based on the post office by Rabindranath Tagore. So to ward off the trouble from we 8 children, my mother would insist that we should all start reading. And she would insist that we start Bankim Chandra and Tara Shankar Banerjee. So even at a younger age, maybe from class 7 onwards, I was introduced to the literature of Bengal and the great personalities of Bengal. When after coming here, I heard Kabiguru Rabindranath Tagore, who said, Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol, Banglar Bayu, Banglar Phal, Punohok, Punohok, Punohok. I heard it in my blood, even as a child, thanks to my postmistress mother. I owe it to the post office tremendously for what I have got in my life. Therefore, there is an umbilical relation between me and the postal department. Now I have come here to teach, to learn from you what I repeated somewhere else also. In one of the Indian states, there was a rift between the governor and the chief minister, not in Bengal, not at all in Bengal. There was a flood, flash flood. The chief minister thought, I will go for an aerial survey. So he came to the helipad. Then the governor said, I will also go for the aerial survey. Then came the chief secretary, then came the DGP. They went and saw the helicopter is there, but the pilot is not there. The pilot has gone to the local school to receive his young child who is in the 3rd standard. When he came with the child, he sees all the VVIPs are there. Chief Minister, Governor, Chief Secretary, DGP, all are there. The Chief Minister told the pilot, we want to go for an aerial survey. You please switch on you please start the helicopter. The pilot said, sir, can you give me 5 minutes? Why? I will send my child to my home and then come back. No, let the child also be there. So the helicopter started. On the way there was some trouble. The Chief Minister, being the leader of the coalition government, immediately knew there is something wrong. The Chief Minister wanted to escape first. The CM said, if I am not there on the ground, flood relief operations will not go on smoothly. So the CM put on a parachute and jumped down. Then the governor jumped down, DGP jumped down, Chief Secretary jumped down. Then the pilot told the son, Sonny, there is only one parachute left here. Please take the parachute and save yourself. Don't worry about Papa. Papa will somehow manage. The young boy said, no, Papa, there are 2 parachutes. What do you mean? There are only 5 parachutes and 4 persons have jumped down. There can only be one parachute left, not 2. The young child said, no, Papa. That governor uncle jumped with my school bag on his back. So I have come here to the post office to know what is the difference between a school bag and a parachute. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. All the best.